So far, we have learned about the Salesforce data model, schema builder, and object manager. By now, you will be familiar with the topics of standard objects, fields, and relationships, page layouts, record types, custom fields, pick lists, and validation rules. This is what we saw in the previous video. Now, we will create a couple of custom objects. In the next video, I'll be taking these same custom objects and explaining the object relationships using some scenarios. We will continue working with the same data model we have already discussed in the previous video. If you have not yet gone through the same, click on the link provided to view the previous lectures. So this is the data model we saw in the previous video. It has two custom objects, the keychain model and the keychain bookings. These are the objects that we will create now. As per the business scenario, Jenny has various keychain models in her product portfolio. She accepts bookings from her customer accounts for the available keychain models. This requires us to create two custom objects called keychain models and keychain booking and create relationships between these objects. In this lecture, we will only create the custom objects. The relationships will be addressed in detail in the next lecture. To create the custom objects, go to Setup, click on the Object Manager and create custom object. This brings up the new custom object screen. Let's start by creating the object keychain model. The plural is keychain models. It does not start with a vowel sound. The API name is populated key underscore chain underscore model. We'll enter a description, the object to contain records of keychain models for the business. Enter a record name, label, and format. The record name we are using is keychain model name, and the data type can be either text or auto number. We want to give a descriptive name to the keychain model, and hence we will select text. Let's select these optional features, allow reports, activities, track field history, and allow in chatter groups for this object that we are creating. We'll keep all the other defaults. The deployment status, we'll keep it deployed. Allow for search. Ideally, when you create a custom object, I would suggest add notes and attachments related list as well, and also launch the new custom tab wizard. Otherwise, we'll have to set up the custom tab for the object separately. For the purpose of this demonstration, I will not check these boxes, and I'll show you how to set up the new custom tab if we have not gone through the wizard. So you save that object and the new custom object has been created. Let's look at the fields and relationships. These are the default fields that have been created for the object. Keychain model name is what we defined as a text field. Now, these are the standard fields that have been added by Salesforce. Now let's add some custom fields. For keychain models, let's create a field called weight. So we want the weight to be a number field. Next, the field label will be weight. The length, let's just keep it at 3, should be sufficient for weight. So it will cover a number up to 999. We don't want a decimal, so decimal places is 0. We could require a value in this field in order for the record to be saved. Let's keep it as mandatory field. We'll keep all the other defaults and click next. This field can be made visible or not visible to certain profiles. For now, we'll keep this field visible for all profiles. Click next. And this field will be added to the keychain model page layout. Save that. We have a field called weight. The field name is weight underscore underscore C, which denotes it's a custom field. And the data type is number, supporting 3 digits and 0 decimals. Let's create a new field. This time we'll create a weight UOM field, unit of measure. And for unit of measure, let's create a pick list field. Next, field label will be weight, unit of measure. We'll enter the values. Let's call it grams and ounces, or we can let's just use the short form GM for gram and OZ for ounce. We'll keep all the other defaults. Click next. Keep it visible for the default profiles and add it to the standard page layout. We'll save a new because we want to create one more field. Let's create a field called material. Now, material can be a pick list if you know the standard materials that you will be using. But in this case, let's just keep it as a text field. The length of the field will keep it as 20 characters, keep a description. We'll keep all the defaults, but as a default value of the material field, we'll keep it as a steel because most of our keychains are made of steel material. Next, remember to keep any text values in a double quote. Select the default profile for which this field is visible and add it to the standard page layout. Save it. So now our keychain model custom object has a few custom fields also added to it. Let's add a validation rule to ensure that the weight is always a positive number. So let's go to validation rules, create a new validation rule. The rule name can be weight should be a positive number. It's active by default. Let's start defining the formula. Let's insert the field weight, insert. If the weight is less than or equal to 0, it generates an error. Weight cannot be 0 or negative. We will display this error near the field weight and save this validation rule. There you go. So the validation rule has been created. Let's now create the other custom object that is required, which is keychain bookings. Same as before, we fill in all the fields, leave the default values. The record name will be keychain booking name. For booking, let's auto number it because we just generate a booking number. So the display format of the number will be keychain booking followed by 4 digits. And the starting number, let's make it 1. We select all the optional features. We'll allow it in search. And this time we'll add notes and attachments related list to the default page layout. And we will also create the custom tab through the wizard. Now, if you remember, last time around, it had just directly created the custom object and not gone into this wizard. This time we will create the custom object tab using the wizard. So the object is keychain booking. The tab style, we can select an icon. So for booking, let's select an icon of a credit card. The tab will be visible for all profiles. And we want to make this tab visible for the sales app, service app, and marketing app. Don't forget to select also the Lightning Sales and Lightning Console, Lightning Service apps, and save. So the object has been created. We will now define the custom fields. If we look at the standard fields, we have the keychain booking name, which is an auto number, and we'll create some new custom fields. So for keychain booking, we want to create a field called booking date. So let's select the field type as date, fill in the description. We always need a value in this field, so make it mandatory. The default value should be today. Next, the new custom field should be visible to all profiles and a part of the standard page layout. Save and new field. We want to also create a field for booking quantity. So for booking quantity, let's select the number, field label, booking quantity. We want the quantity to be a whole number, so we'll leave decimal places as 0 and allow 5 digits. That allows 99,999 quantities to be booked, and we will save it. Click next. Default profiles is fine. We'll add the field to the standard page layout. Save that. We'll again create a validation rule which ensures that the booking quantity is a positive number. Create a new validation rule. You should be familiar with this by now. Booking quantity should be positive. Insert a field, keychain booking, booking quantity, insert. If it is less than equal to 0, if this condition evaluates as true, then display an error saying booking quantity cannot be 0 or negative. We'll display the error near the field booking quantity, and we'll save that. If we go back to our home page and refresh the page, we can see the keychain bookings is now available as a tab, but the keychain model has not appeared. This is because we did not go through custom tab wizard setup. So even if we search for keychain, we can only see keychain bookings. Keychain models is not showing up. So to rectify this, we'll go to setup, type tabs and select tabs. This brings up the custom tabs screen. So let's create a new tab for keychain model. So select keychain model, create a tab style. Basically the icon, we can select keys for this one and click next. The custom tab will be visible for all users. We shall include this tab for all apps by default. Save that. So now both the custom object tabs have been created. If we go back to the home page and refresh it, we should get keychain models as well. So now let's create a few keychain models. Car keychain, the weight, so let's put 10. The is a pick list. We'll select it's a 10 gram. And the material by default is showing steel. Just accept the default value in this case and keep it as steel. Save and a new record. Creating a new record. House keychain weighs 50 grams and the material is wood. Save and new. Create another record called fancy keychain, weighs 15 grams and the material is silver. Save it. You can see the keychain model records that have been created. In the related lists, there will be no related list because we have not yet set up the relationships for these custom objects. If we select the keychain models tab and change the list view to all, we can see all the records that have been created. By default, it just shows the standard fields, but we can add more fields in the list view by modifying it and selecting the fields to display. So let's select weight material as well. Add these fields. You can change the positioning of these fields and save. So you can see all the records that we have created. We'll not create keychain bookings as of now because it will only allow a couple of fields, and without the relationships, it will not make sense to create booking records as of now because there's no way you can create which account has created this booking and this booking is for which keychain model. So we are going to set up those relationships and then create some records here. That's what we'll tackle in the next video.